Good afternoon, guys. This is Fazal Khan again. And first of all, let me thank you for all the support and love that you have given me for my last video, for buying the best deals. And based on that support, I got a motivation to bring you a topic where mostly we find ourselves into. And this video is again for people who directly face clients or customers and often find themselves in a uncomfortable position where someone is not happy with them and are complaining. So here we go. Complaint handling. How do you handle your complaints from the clients? Basically, what is complaint? Complaint is simple, like I don't like your services. You're late, or your product delivery is late. So mostly what happens is we get a stereotype answer back. Sorry for the inconvenience caused, sir. We'll take your feedback. Do you really think it helps? No. If anyone from the big shots are listening, please stop this. You are dealing with humans. Humans have emotions. I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I'm angry on your failure. You are not good in what you are doing. That's why I am angry. I'm not happy, and I'm complaining. Now, before we go any further, to put a potential to this topic, let me tell you, 71% of the customers which are not happy don't complain at all. Then what happens? These 71% of the customers who don't complain, my dear friends, they are not coming back to you. They are not buying your product again. They are not going to give you any second chance. That's it. You are done for them. Your brand is done for them. आप खुद भी कभी ऐसे सिचुएशन में आए होंगे जहाँ पे मतलब आपको कुछ चीज़ पसंद नहीं आई बट आप बोलते नहीं हैं, तो वहाँ पे दो चीज़ें होती हैं. अगर आपके पास वही एक ऑप्शन है तो यू डोंट हैव एनी अदर ऑप्शन, एज सिंपल एज दैट. बट अगर आपके पास जो अभी हमारे ग्लोबलाइजेशन, थैंक्स टू ग्लोबलाइजेशन, वी हैव ऑप्शंस इन आवर हैंड इन द फॉर्म ऑफ स्मार्टफोन्स, राइट? फ्रॉम डॉक्टर्स टू sweets, chocolates, we get on our smartphones. So we have options. As a consumer, as a customer, we have options. You have to understand. The company, please understand this. We have options. But despite having options, we have given you a chance to serve us. So serve us better. And if we have complaints, listen to it and resolve it. And don't repeat it. Now, 71% of the customers who don't complain and are not happy with your services don't come back to you. Most of them don't come back to you. And they are just your big loss. Now you may ask, what happens to the 29% of the customers who complain? Now, 96% of those 29%, 96% of those 29% unhappy customers who have complained to you, and you have taken the right steps to handle the complaint and resolve the issue, come back to you. Because they understand, okay, fine, galti hoti hai. People are forgiving. As I said, they're emotional, they're forgiving. But they want what they want. What do they want? If they complain, they'll let you know. Always have as many channels as possible to get feedbacks. Because everyone thinks that I'm doing the best I can. The companies are thinking that we are doing the best we can, and we have all systems in place and processes in place, and there is no chance of failure. Still, you fail. biggest of the biggest company, their app hanged. Their app hanged. It's not a failure of the company, but it's maybe a bug. But that bug is failure of the brand. I am not concerned about the bug. I'm not a software engineer here. I open a website, maybe Zan.com, okay, and it's the biggest website. I would say it's the biggest aggregator for all the things that you could possibly need. And what I do, I choose a product after browsing maybe 50 products. I choose a product, I add to the basket, and then what happens is when I go to the basket, I don't find that product, and then I go back, and then again I have to restart the process. Now what happens is I'm not happy. I'm not happy, and I complain. I take out the time to complain, or I belong to that 71% of the customer who don't complain and switch to another app. Maybe cart.in. Okay. Now, let me reiterate: 96% of the complaining customers of the total 29% come back to you. Come back to you. So, how to handle complaints? Let's get to the crux of it. First step: don't hear. Listen. There is a fine line, there is a fine line between hearing and listening. Suno mat, samjho. And let me tell you, my dear friends, when you hear to someone or when you listen to someone, they know. They know from your body language if you are listening to them or hearing, just hearing. And अगर आप ऐसी कोई गलती कर रहे हैं जहाँ पे कि एक आयरेट कस्टमर, ओके, जहाँ पे एक ऑलरेडी गुस्से में बंदा है और आप उसके सामने बैठे हैं एंड ही इज़ टेलिंग यू द प्रॉब्लम, ओके, मे बी ऑन द टॉप ऑफ हिज वॉइस ही इज़ येलिंग, ओके, जस्ट टेल हिम सर प्लीज सिट, बताइए मुझे क्या हुआ. Then he opens up, and then what happens is your phone rings and you take up the call. What are you doing, my brother? No. That person in front of you who is complaining about your product or service is the most important person on earth at that very moment. Make him feel that. Listen to him properly, okay? Listen to him properly, and he will know that you are listening, okay? From your facial expressions, from your body language. Now, after you have listened to him carefully, okay, after you have listened to him carefully, don't give him that robotic answer, okay? Just cut the crap, okay? Cut the crap, get to the point. And empathize. Now, empathy and sympathy, both are sisters, I would say. In this next picture, you will understand that what is sympathy and what is empathy. The picture on the left hand side is sympathy. Right hand side is empathy. Sympathy is, I'm sorry for your loss. And then empathy is feeling that loss. You have to feel it. You have to feel it with your client. You have to be in his shoes for a moment at least. Please try to be. Empathize. I'm really sorry, sir. I can understand your trouble. You have faced a great deal of trouble because of us. Empathize. Don't give. No one wants sympathy. Let me tell you. No one wants sympathy. If you can, then learn to empathize, and then empathize with the customer. Okay. Then let's go back to the first step. This is what I do. In the middle of it, I try to recap. Okay, to keep the continuity on. Okay. So the first step is you listen to him, and if you properly listen to him, and if you properly empathize with him, then, my dear friends, his complaint, 80% of his anger his you know unhappiness with you is resolved emotionally. Everyone wants someone to listen to him. Once you have listened to him and empathized him properly, 80% of the problem is solved. 80% of the problem is solved. My dear fellow, 80% of the problem is solved by just these two steps, common normal steps. Done correctly, of course. Now comes the third part, which is strategical. It's not just, listen and empathize and just, okay, that's it. No. Third part is you try to compensate. First, try to give a resolution to his problem, if you can, or try to compensate. You can always compensate. You can always compensate. There's always a way to compensate. Try to compensate the customer for his loss or for his unpleasant experience, and make sure, let him feel that this is the last time he is facing this kind of problem with you. And the normal, I would say, the normal gesture is, suppose you are the manager or you are the, sir, you take my direct number. Next time when you come to, you need something, directly give me a call. You don't have to go in circles. Again, I don't want you to face any issues again. So, either give a resolution right away to his problem, or if it is too late, you cannot resolve it, I understand, compensate. Give a compensation in any other form, like give your membership or a discount on your membership, or give in a next service you tell him that, okay, you are going to get this kind of discount just because you had a problem with us. So either resolve or compensate, and make sure that this should be your ending pitch, that this is the last time he is facing this kind of problem with you, with your product or service. So this is how you handle a complaint, and you get that 96% of the customer who was once unhappy with you back again to you. And this is very, very critical, and we find it in our day-to-day lives. And very unfortunately, I have to say that we have a big problem in customer complaint handling. We don't know. Maybe we don't care. It's high time, big C's, big companies, you take note of the complaints of the customer and stop your stereotype robotic, I'm sorry for your inconvenience, and inconvenience, deeply regretted it. Stop it. Please stop it. Listen to your customers, get feedbacks, work on it, empathize with them, and try to resolve their problems, issues, and maybe focus more on retaining your old customers than making new ones. Now, this is the funny part. Every company is spending fortunes in acquiring new customers. I need new. I need more and more. What about the leakage that is happening? What about the customers who are leaving you? What about the customers who are not satisfied with your service and are already, have already given you a chance, and you have failed and have left you because you didn't have a proper feedback process in place. Second, you didn't care. You just didn't care if they were happy with you or not. So this customer complaint handling is the most critical and the most complicated part of the whole circle of business, especially if it is retail or retail service as well. So I hope people who are watching this get some idea about how to handle irate customer, and be patient before you know that you are before you enter into the discussion with the that customer who is not happy with you. Have a ton of patience, my dear. Have a ton of patience. Borrow some from your friend if you need. But let me tell you, you are going to be face to face with someone you have done wrong to, according to him at least, right? So be happy, be professional, keep learning. I call myself management trainee. So I learn and I share my experiences. And as I said, I am no management guru, because management is an ocean. I cannot be, maybe my life won't be enough to learn complete management. And management cannot be taught in 2 years or 3 years. So you learn with your experience, first hand experience. So I'm trying to share these experiences with you. Kindly forgive me for anything that I have overspoken. And big companies, please take note of your customers' feedback and focus more on the leakages than to fill more water or fully open the tap to pour more water in your bucket. Acquiring new customers, fine, but what about retaining your old customers? So complaint handling is one of the crucial part of retaining your old customers. Thank you. Be safe, be professional,